round is going to be a massive, massive problem for RoX. And I'm actually really concerned about their lineup right now.
Prepare for battle.
I'm not 100% sure just how effective it's all going to be because, okay, is Era... this is what I was waiting to see. I want to see if Hani would in fact go top or mid. And the main reason why I was going to ask that question was because Hani is an Ember Spirit up on the top lane. He'll be very, very happy. It'll be quick farm. He's not looking for extra control. And Era, we know that they like to run that combination of the dual lane in the mid.
Dual lane's always strong versus an Invoker, too.
Oh, yeah. Because you know you're able to catch out the Invoker. Like, Mr. If he even thinks about going Exort, which looks like Solo has already thought about it and done it, he's got Exort in this middle. If they get like an Invis route or something like that, Disruption into a Torrent, and you've got just one other hero that's able to help you out, and Enchantress with an early creep, you've already got Smoke over on No Tail. The potential for killing right now from Fnatic is insanely high. It reminds me all the time I see Enchantress SC combinations, it just reminds me of what the older LGD International team used to do in China. Like this never-ending aggression that just stuck on top of everybody. And you feared for it. Like the lanes were so locked down, your supports wouldn't rotate around, which means then the cores of the aggressive team just had all the space in the world to free farm and transition beautifully into the mid game.
The battle begins.
At the same time, though, RoX, once they realize it's going to be a dual lane, I think they're still going to be fine because then they can just rotate the Abaddon into the middle lane and just run dual lanes against dual lanes. I think they're fine with that because then you have a Shadow Shaman getting the full experience at this bottom lane and not having to share it with another support so he can do pulls and get the full experience out, get a faster level 6. Abaddon may be a little under-leveled and your Invoker is going to be suffering from experience because of the Abaddon leeching experience. But at the same time, it's better than having to deal with this constant pressure of a kill lane.
Here you go. Disruption. Torrent. This time around, though, not quick enough.
No, not quick enough at all. And at top, Hani is going to be going up against the Furion. And while I agree that Hani is going to be pretty happy with the farm he's going to be getting there, and especially the early levels, at the same time, this constant physical damage harassment can put Ember Spirit a little low, and that's why you see they fed him so much extra regen.
Yeah, and now he's also able to finish with the poor man's shield.
Yeah.
The other part of his plan up here in the top lane, because once you're able to block up that damage consistently, then the regeneration will do its work, and then you'll transition to his next items. I'm also watching this bottom lane where Trixie and Yol are battling it out. Yol's been having these shackles for a while, and both Yol as well as BZZ, they combine up quite nicely for a kill. While up on top lane, smoke gank time. So we've got a Troll Trap and a Centaur. And Seedoy, he's trying to run away already. Now, you already go for the chains. Troll Trap to follow up. Centaur into the stomp. And this will be the death of Seedoy. Fnatic, they've already won, spoiler alert, the Captain's Draft tournament today. And they want to make sure they can secure themselves a grand final for the MLG TKO. Off to a good start.
Yeah, they were looking pretty rough, I would say about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Fnatic, I think we're in a bit of a rough patch, but they've been looking a lot better the last few days, and hopefully they can continue this run, and we can have a pretty strong series here. But Godblack is now making that rotation into the middle lane. I was surprised he wasn't sitting there just from the very beginning, but this lane doesn't have true kill potential until like level 2, level 3, I would say, until both of them have their level 2 nukes on the Shadow Demon as well as the Kunkka, so it wasn't necessary right away, but now Godblack's going to be joining him. Just to ensure a little bit of safety eventually, though. With
an SD, with an Invis rune, Fly knows exactly what's happening here in this middle lane. They need a little bit more space here on solo. The Tidebringer is also still on cooldown, so they want to make sure they get this at the right time.
He may know, but what can he really do about it?
Well, right now, I'd say the best thing that Fnatic could do about it is just go on Godblack. That'll be the best thing they could do. But now they're actually out. It's out far enough. Catcher, Disruption, as well as the Satyr Blast, the Torrent to follow up, and then the shield. This is the problem. While Godblack was there, they can't get the kill. That's why I was like, you got to go on Godblack, not on solo here.
Yeah, and he was just sitting way too far back, so they went ahead and did the only thing they could do and put some damage on solo. And this dual lane turned out well for RoX. And it's only going to get worse as we start getting those higher levels of Forge Spirits. It's practically a 3v2 because Forge Spirits are just so strong early on in the laning phase that they're going to be able to harass that Shadow Demon. And so while you may have a melee support on your side with the Invoker, you get that extra Forge Spirit in lane, and it makes all the difference.
Trixie's having a wander back down to bottom lane. Hasn't really found that many levels. He spent most of his time just brawling with Yol. And you're already seeing the movement coming in, the shackles. The Lucent Beam also helping out with the early damage, so you'll be able to get the cooldown off in a moment. But there's no point up in Surge. So Trixie hoping gets himself denied after the saddest, but no joy for him at all. And
he
we
just
go
wants
1-1.
level 2, Toby. That's all he wants. That's all a Darkseer really wants, is just to be able to have that Surge, that getaway mechanism, and just never to be found.
No. No-Tail's looking to go for another gank though. Look his positioning. He's got an Alpha Wolf in tow, and he's up on the high ground, and now Seedoy walks into him, and the collapse already gone out. There's not enough damage. The Torrent! Oh. It was only a second too late there from Era. Wise choice of Seedoy just to run himself away. If he stopped to sprout and run himself away, dead.
That being said, Hani is actually not quite as much CS as I would have expected. I would have thought this would have been a free lane after their first blood gank, but he is a little bit behind the Luna. He's picked it up in just the last 5 seconds I've been talking about it. But now he has his phase boots. That's a lot more lane control now. Up against the Furion, who's only going to have brown boots. For that short period of time while you're waiting for Seedoy to get phase boots, Hani has a huge advantage and can get really aggressive, especially since he just picked up Remnants.
Yeah, and you see how it's actually helping out. His team is helping him out. They put the Alpha Wolf up onto the top lane.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're having trouble with last hits, or if your timing's not feeling 100% right, No-Tail just pushes the Alpha Wolf in, and then all of a sudden Honey's having a lot easier of a time. That Alpha Wolf, of course, though, was timed out, but they forced the fortification because they pushed the creep wave in so far. With the catapult behind it too, they had to use fortification. A nice Centaur stomps this. They're just slowing down the trees, converting the full health tree as well. The trees turn against their master.
Yeah, any sort of extra pushing power, why not? So tier 1 is going to go down. Seedoy going to try for the deny here, but knows Hani exactly. He's got that phase boot advantage.
Well, he was able to get the quick lockdown, the chains, but with Goldblack giving him the extra heal immunity while in middle lane. Disruption, catcher, torrent again. The culmination working beautifully on Solo with no points up in Wex. He's going to go down here, trying to get one last Sunstrike off for Era if he was going to have to overextend himself.
Good communication. The moment they see Goldblack top, they say go on middle immediately because now that Invoker is open for the kill. There's nothing there to be able to defend him. So Fnatic actually do make this dual lane work out after I thought they weren't going to see a single lane.
They're running into mid. They want Goldblack dead. All 5 heroes from Fnatic are converging on mid. And now Goldblack and Solo are here, but Hani's already found Goldblack. Now he's going to start off already just burning him down. And who's he want? Solo, the chains, rather interesting position. They're not really hitting anybody. Same with the Torrent, but they've got this Iron Shell over on Era, which is burning through Solo as they just tweak over the aggro and almost a full surround with the Disruption Illusions and the other heroes from Fnatic. Man, this has just turned into, what is this, Korean Dota? 6 minutes in, and we go 5-man down the mid.
Oh yeah, RoX KIS, they're beginning to respond though.
This is not a wise thing to do when you shock up through the tree line like that. Especially when Ember Spirit already has his ultimate up and running. They could have just ballsed into that. And Luna's not ready to fight. He's going hand of Midas. He needs more time.
Yeah, all of the heroes on RoX KIS need more time. And this is why I thought Fnatic were going to go for so much early team fight, is because they see this advantage where Luna's still squishy before BKB, before you have actually even a real amount of damage. Invoker needs time. Furion is not an early team fighter. You have your ultimate, which can surprise people, but for the most part, you are not a strong team fighter. So everything else, I mean, the supports, Shadow Shaman, really underleveled, needs to be able to have wards before he's a contributing factor.
Era's in trouble. Shackle's going to be coming in this mid lane, and they've still got the nukage available. Yeah, Fly's going to disrupt up his own teammate, which means at least he'll evade the Prophet ultimate. He will not be able to evade both the Shock and the Sunstrike. Coming out from the rest of RoX KIS.
Yeah, you could have saved him a lot more damage, though I think he would have been dead no matter what. He could have disrupted his ally a lot earlier in order to stop that Shackles faster, but either way, I think he was still going to be dead. Because the Sunstrike probably still would have landed and everything else following up.
We got smoke movement coming out from Fly and No-Tail again. This time they're looking towards bottom lane with the newly spawned up hero Era. He'll probably just TP himself to that bottom.
Enchantress is such a great hero to gank up Luna's because you can tank up that Eclipse.
Boom. Disruption. And then in with a catch-up. Torrent timing was perfect again. And that's the bottom lane. Toast. A very quick kill over on Luna. And with the Undead Army, they can force out this tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. You're already seeing the pings coming out saying, yo guys, hold the creep wave back around this point. bring it down, and that means they get a full life point creep wave for the dire side, forcing into that tier 1 tower.
Yeah, and at this point in time, RoX, I think it was a big mistake. Luna and Shadow Shaman making that rotation into the middle lane.
Top lane, a quick fist into a chain, and then you've got that Iron Shell damage. Okay, there's actually quite a lot of burn damage coming out with Iron Shell, as well as the
maxed
the
out
immolation.
guard.
Yeah. So I can't help but think of it as immolation. Warcraft 3 boy. Sorry. That's habit.
So that's 150 damage a second.
Just by
2
standing next
seconds,
to him.
2 seconds of standing next to a person, you've done a full magical damage nuke.
It's at this point I would have said it's a great thing they don't have any like melee heroes on the lineup from RoX, apart from like Abaddon. But it's actually probably a worse thing, because then you've got squishy heroes like Shadow Shaman, Nature's Prophet, Luna, Invoker. All of these heroes, if you get in close, your damage is ridiculous. If it was like a Centaur, he might be like, well, I've got return, I got strength, I can stay alive through all of this.
Yeah, and imagine once Ember Spirit has real damage to his Sleight of Fist, you combine the Battle Fury splash with a vacuum as well. That is just so much huge potential of damage, because that's always the biggest thing about an Ember Spirit is you need to stay split up when you're going up against him, because otherwise you get that extra damage from Battle Fury splashes. And that's the worst possible thing you can do. Especially Illusion heroes have a terrible time versus Ember Spirit for that exact reason, because Naga Siren, Terrorblade, those heroes, when they spawn their illusions, it's just an extra hero, and it's an extra unit for the Ember Spirit to hit to get the splash on the original.
Dude, this is... I wasn't expecting this kind of early game. Coming into this, looking at the lineup from RoX, when you pick up something like a Prophet, a Shadow Shaman, as well as a Luna, you're looking to be the ones to initiate. You're looking to be the ones that force down towers. You're not looking to be the ones that lose a hero up on top lane. Like, chickens are burning Shadow Shaman right now, and he's still in range, so he's still getting burnt down by that Flame Guard of Hani. He just doesn't care.
No.
A Shadow Shaman can't stay that close, which means Shadow Shaman, like, this is already now, that's actually his first death to his name. But the Blink Dagger's going to be a long way off. Seedoy is now going to lose his life too, which means disrupt initiation time for him is well off even further when he gets crushed by the boat. And I'm seeing Abaddon even losing more life, and that's up top lane again. It's Hani and No-Tail forcing it out. It really just feels like RoX are being poked and prodded like an unwilling patient.
Yeah, earlier I was talking about Shadow Shaman's rotation to mid. They need that